I was with the chief angel Michael, who promised to reveal to me secret of spiritual war. We were in the second world of witches where they come to eat, and my deputy who turned out to be a witch had finished what he came to do here and we were following him. I saw him making a sign as if he wanted to fly upward. When I look up I saw above us another globe, which was the third world of witches. A gateway was opened and quickly my deputy flew up and entered the third world of witches, and the gateway to the third dimension of witches was closed. At that moment the chief angel Michael appeared and told me, I cannot take you to the third world of witches because of brutality and atrocity happening there. In that dimension they sacrifice human and they decapitate people if they were animal. Your deputy has a cold heart of witches but you still have a normal human heart. Your deputy no longer have human heart. He has betrayed the human race, and he made alliance to enemy of humanity in order to destroy human. At this level he find human sacrifice and these atrocities normal, but you will not bear it for you have a human heart. Michael realized that I was keen to enter the third world of witches to see what is happening there. He told me, I understand your curiosity and I will tell you what is happening there. First of all, you must understand that whenever a witch travels to the third world of wizard he must bring with him something that belonged to his targeted man or woman. For anything that belonged to you represent you in the spirit world. Whenever a witch traveled to the third dimension he would bring your hair, your snails and any object that belonged to you when he want to offer you a human sacrifice. The chief angel told me, every week on Saturday witches bring one of these items that they take from the people that they want to sacrifice and bring these items to the third world of witches. When a witch bring your item in this dimension, he will do incantation prayer with the object that he took from you, because anything that belonged to you represent you. As a result of incantation prayer you will appear in the world of witches with a body called astral double, which is an astral copy of you. You will continue your life on earth but a copy of you is made in the spirit world of witches. Many people on the earth have a copy of themselves in spiritual prison and these copy represent them in the spirit world. When you have a witch at home or in the neighborhood he would tend to collect people hair in the salon or a comb. He will tend to collect people nails and cloth. He would even cut a part of people clothes in order to take it to the third dimension of witches. This is because anything that belonged to you represent you in the spirit world, and he will invoke you thanks to your cloth, hair and nail. As a result you will appear exactly the way you look like on earth with a body called astral double. And when you appear in the third dimension of witches, first they would find you a wife in the world of witches. I mean they will marry you in the spirit world to a witch and you would enter spiritual marriage. There will be a celebration. They are people who are in spiritual marriage but they don't know how it started. Their new partner will begin to fight their existing partner in the physical because they are jealous. Michael told me, there are many people in this third realm of witches, for after giving you into marriage in this dimension they will bind you and suspend you on a pole, and whatever they do to your copy you will experience it on the earth. They will pin your head and you will start having migraine. Only prayer that can undo their wickedness, after making a copy of you and giving you to marriage. The third thing that will happen is that they will put you in a spiritual prison, of the Prince of Witches, called Henry Man. The Master of Witches is the high-rank demon Henry Man. When people are in the spiritual prison they would be thinking too much and worrying a lot and they would become fragile and unable to bear the pressure of life. The chief angel told me, the fourth thing that the witches will to you is to wear people copy as a coat in order to hide their identity, which is like operating with the face of innocent people that are in spiritual prison. When you are in a spiritual prison witches and wizard may use your face to hide their identity, and this is made possible when they wear you copy. We are dealing with high witchcraft, and this practice of taking people face by using their copy caused division, confusion and trouble. One day I was in my office in the church waiting for prayer time. The moment I slept and I felt like someone was entering the office. When I opened my eyes I saw the moderator of our church entering the office accompanied by 100 people. I said, John Claude, it's you, what's wrong? Brother John pointed his two hands to me and said, I hypnotize you. Immediately I saw rays of light coming out of his finger and hitting me. As a result I was paralyzed on the floor, unable to move. Brother John approached me and the people who came with him said give him a head kick to kill him. When he was about to do so, I decided to rebuke him in the name of Jesus Christ. But when I tried to address him, I saw that my voice was taken away from me. The Spirit of God told me, say the name of Jesus Christ in your heart. In my heart I said, in the name of Jesus. I had not finished mentioning the name of the Lord when I saw the enemy that was struck by a powerful explosion, and they all disappear. When I stood up, I joined my member in the other room of prayer. I said to Brother John, "Are you trying to bewitch me?" With tears he said, "Pastor, I did not do it. I am innocent." I said, "Stop crying. You witches like crying this way to deceive people. Don't try to distract us because I just saw you." John cried like a child, denying my accusation. I was torn, for I did not know whether it's him or not. 1 week later I was resting and waiting for prayer time. When I woke up, I saw Brother John entering the prayer room with witches. He shot me with rays of light that came out of his finger to paralyze me. I was on the floor paralyzed with my eyes opened watching him. He was encouraged by these witches to give me a head kick in order to kill me. When I rebuked them in the name of Jesus Christ, there was a detonation and they disappear. I joined the intercessor and asked him, "John, are you going to continue to deny your witchcraft?" Brother John began to cry again, denying my accusation. When I was transported in the 3 realm of witches, the angel of battle who promised to talk to me secret of spiritual war said to me, "When John Claude come again to hypnotize you, you will say to him, in the name of Jesus Christ I unmask you, and see what will happen." I waited for John, and he took time, many days, to come again, and when he came to attack me for the 3rd time, he was still accompanied by 100 people who were witches, and they told him, "This time around if you fail to kill him, the master will execute you." When he approached me to shoot me with ray of light coming out of his finger, I rushed and rebuked him in the name of Jesus Christ. But instead of unmasking him as instructed by the angel of war Michael, I said to John, "You are hypnotized in the name of Jesus Christ." When I rebuked John, I saw that Brother John was hypnotized, immobilized and standing there before me. He could only move his eyes but unable to move his head or body. Brother, this was not happening in a dream and I was not sleeping. When he was immobilized, I looked at him and I felt dread over what was happening around, but I took courage and said, "Brother John, I unmask you in the name of Jesus Christ." As a result, he shook his head, and I saw a lot of woman hair appearing on his head and his face changed to that of my sister-in-law. This witch was not Brother John but my sister. I said to my sister-in-law, "So it was you." She said to me, "I was sent with the mandate of killing you. The mission began the day I took your shirt to iron for you. I cut a little part of your shirt and took it to the 3rd dimension of witches, where we made your copy, that is hung on the pole, and I always pin your head with needles." I rebuke my sister in the name of Jesus, and there was an explosion and she disappeared. I remember one day in a convention I was attacked with migraine. I felt a ground in the middle of people. My blood pressure rose to 17. From that day onward I began to suffer from migraine because my copy was pinned on the head in the 3rd dimension of witches with needles. What happened is that one day my sister-in-law the witch came to arrange the room of prayer in the church and she brought us food. That's when she seized the opportunity to take a cloth of Brother John, and she took it to the 3rd dimension and they made copy of Brother John. Since then my sister was coming to attack me in the appearance of Brother John. She was wearing the copy of Brother John like a coat. I learned that in order to attack you the witches need to fabricate your copy in the 3rd dimension thanks to any object that belong to you. People living on the earth have their copy in prison in the 3rd dimension. When this experience ended, I was thinking about the Prince of Witches, Henry Mann. Then the chief angel Michael appeared to me and said, "Come, I will show you Henry Mann, the King of Witches." He transported me to the main boulevard in the city center. He told me, "You see that building there? Go and get inside and you will see the demon Henry Mann, but he will not see because you will be invisible to him. But I am waiting for you here." I got to the building and entered, for I was invisible to the guards. I saw that it was a nightclub. It was really dark and there were only red light, and there is a reason why there are red light in nightclub. Then I noticed at the end of the building in the corner there was a man dressed in black and red, which is the color at the light of nightclub. This figure, who was Henry Mann, the Prince of Witches, was slim and short, with long arms beyond the knees. His back seems to be bent. This demon does not walk like a human, for he moves by jumping from one nightclub to another. The king of witches is also the king of nightclub Henry Man. Notice on the day of Saint Valentine we are told to dress black and red, which is the uniform of Master of Witches Henry Man. On this day of Saint Valentine there is a lot of fornication because the main activity of the first world of witches is sexuality. I was still in the second world of witches with Michael when I saw the third dimension opening, and my deputy coming down to the second world like in staircase. When he landed then the ground dissolved beneath his feet and he descended to the first world. Michael and I followed him down to the first world, where I saw my deputy pointing his finger on the floor, and he started drawing like a circle. I saw in the end that he was drawing a spiral like an undulation. This spiral turned to moving sand and became like a funnel. I saw my deputy taking an upside down position. His feet were up and his head down, and he introduced his head in the moving spiral. He was stuck in the spiral. Michael said this is the way witches return to earth, and his umbilical cord will integrate him in his body. Michael said to me, since you are not a witch you cannot go down like him, give me your right hand. The moment he held my hand instantly I found myself in the church where I was sleeping for 8 months. I looked at the time, it was 4 a.m. So I spent 4 hours in the world of witches. I said my God, my deputy is a witch. Since on that day there was service, I was there waiting for the service to begin. My deputy came and he led the service, and when it was preaching time he said to the assembly, now I will call the man of God that I love with all my heart. I call him my father for he is the spokesman of God. I stepped forward and said to the church, today I will not preach. I just discovered the witch of our church and he is among us. We will pray and go home, no preaching today. The deputy took the microphone and said, you who is the witch of the church, when the man of God unmask you we will beat you like a snake. When the prayer ended I called my deputy and told him, you are brave, you dare to threaten the church while you are the witch that the Lord revealed to me. I said I come back from the 3 world of witches. He said you also go there. At that moment he stood up and began to walk backward and left the church for good. Today he is a prophet in a big church in Angola. With the eyes that they get in the first world of witches he can prophesy.